Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Unstuck at 40s. Today we are diving into the world of Kubernetes observability. So whether you are a seasoned Kubernetes pro or just getting started with Kubernetes, understanding what is happening inside your Kubernetes cluster is crucial. That's where Prometheus and Grafana come in to simplify the monitoring or observability part of Kubernetes. So in this video, we will talk about different setup processes step by step, making it easy for you to monitor and analyze your Kubernetes environment. So before you get started, make sure you have a GCP or Google Cloud Platform account and some basic familiarity with Kubernetes concepts. You will also need access to the GCP console like me and Google Cloud SDK installed in your system. I mean via command line or GUI, whatever it is, because you need Cloud SDK, Google Cloud SDK, to run the command and interact interactively with your GCP portal. As we will manage everything from our local MacBook, not from GCP Cloud Shell. Yeah. Another note, I am doing it using GCP. I mean GCP Managed Kubernetes Service, which is GKE or Google Kubernetes Engine. You can also use Azure Kubernetes Service or AKS or even EKS, which is Elastic Kubernetes System or Service from AWS. So we will start with authentication and the project setup. So we need to authenticate with GCP using the command gcloud auth-login. Here I will type it and there it will give the output. So I will have open it in incognito window. So I will basically go ahead and type it here and just authenticate with it. And Google Cloud SDK wants to access your Google Cloud account. Yeah, so I'm just allowing it. And once I allow, I go to the command line, I'll see like it has been approved. Then we will set our default project to the one where our Kubernetes cluster or GKE resides with. Yeah, so I can actually go here again and see our project ID. Okay, so for your case, you will take your project ID from here. So in my case, I already have this command ready with me. So gcloud config set project, and you give the project ID. Yeah, and that will basically set up the project with your default project or with your current project, which you want to set it up. Now we will do cluster creation and configuration. So for that, let's enable the Google Kubernetes Engine API with the command gcloud service enable and then the container.google.api.com. And now we will create the Kubernetes cluster, yeah, or GKE named my cluster 1 in US Central 1A with one node or a single node. Yeah, so this will actually take some time to get created. So for this or till this point of time, will we wait for this cluster to be created, whereas it will take 5 to 10 minutes? No, because one of the reason being that I actually had made sure that one of the clusters is already getting created for us or already being created for us. It's ready basically, so my cluster. So what I will do is I will actually retrieve, or I will basically connect with this cluster because already it is ready. So I will go ahead and connect with this cluster with this command. What this command exactly does, I will go to another prompt maybe. Yep. So here, this particular command will retrieve the credential for my cluster in this US Central 1 zone and set the appropriate project so that we can run all the kubectl or Helm related commands inside the GKE cluster. Yeah. So now we can say that our GKE related setup is kind of done. Yeah. Now we'll proceed with the installation of monitoring tools, which is like Prometheus and Grafana. So to set up the monitoring, we will add Prometheus Helm repository with this command. So Helm is basically the package manager of Kubernetes. What is package manager? It's like a Windows installer or tar gz kind of utility of Linux, and it makes your package management inside Kubernetes very, very easy. Previously, it was pretty tedious with doing it manually doing with multiple number of YAML files, but with the advent of Helm, the life has become quite easy for the Kubernetes experts. Now I will actually update the Helm repositories with this Helm repo update command. and it has been completed. Now I will create a namespace named monitoring inside my Kubernetes cluster. Yeah, awesome. So now we need to install, just let me check one thing, whether I'm inside my cluster. Okay, fine, I'm inside that. Great. So what I'll do is now I will install the Prometheus and related or Prometheus related components into this particular namespace named monitoring, whichever just now we have created. So this will take some time to installing all this Prometheus related components, or Prometheus as well as Grafana, all the services and corresponding pods, or whatever installed components inside this namespace. And once it is done, we will see what other things will be getting created for us. Yeah, see, this one is getting created, but this is of no use for us at this point of time because we are using my cluster, the particular GKE cluster named my cluster, not the my cluster one. So we'll wait some time and see what will be going on at this point of time once all this particular Prometheus stack is getting installed. And till this point, we can actually see, let's say, kubectl get all. It will actually give us, okay, still get created. So let's wait for some time. Yeah, so now this has been created. And at this point of time, if I want to do this, kubectl code all and hyphen namespace monitoring, sorry, and monitoring. So this will give me all the components, the pods, the services, the deployments, daemon sets, replica set, as well as stateful set, whatever has been created as a part of this Prometheus stack. Yeah, so this has been created with that particular part. So previously, the thing which I have given, the command which I mentioned, there the namespace was missing. So once I have given the namespace, it has given me all the components which has been getting created for this. Now, at this point, we will be accessing and configuring Prometheus and Grafana. So if we want, yeah, so we will run this command, kubectl edit service Prometheus to Prometheus stack. So basically, if I look at this command which I have written, if you come to the service part, so this is the particular service which I am looking at this point. So this is the Prometheus service. This is a little, I'll say, confused kind of, the format, the naming format, Prometheus, Prometheus, like that. But this is, we have to live with it. Yeah. So this basically, this particular portion is the common part with most of this particular service name. But last part which will be there, so we need to keep our eye on it. Yeah, Prometheus, whether it is Prometheus, whether it's operator or alert manager, or maybe Grafana. So we need to keep our eye on it. So this is the particular service which we are concerned about, and I will run this command to see the service level configuration. So if we want, we can actually change the service configuration for Prometheus, this particular YAML file in the monitoring namespace, which is just getting, which has been already created. So if you look at this part, type is equal to cluster IP. Yeah. So we can actually change the type of this cluster IP to load balancer for external access. If I want to access the Prometheus portal or Prometheus service, I have to use this particular service. I have to access this particular service to access our Prometheus instance. Yeah, this is the running instance. Yeah. So at this point, we will not do it. Why? Because we'll rather try to access this Prometheus using port forwarding. Why? Just to show you various methods of accessing these Kubernetes services. So I will actually go out, Q, and I will run this command, kubectl port forward this one till this point, and it will start actually doing the port forward in just a minute. It's telling, let me see. Oh, hopefully it has not been changed. Okay, now the context has changed. Once that particular cluster has been created, the context has changed. So I understood that part. Now what I'll do is I will, awesome. Now this is a particular error you will never get, because you will not create a new cluster while working with the previously old cluster. So you don't bother about it. Yeah. So what happened? The previous cluster which I have created, once it has been ready, it has become the active cluster for me. Yeah. So now when I have run this command, it is told that this particular namespace called monitoring doesn't exist. And then I understood that it has actually become the active one. That's the reason it is not showing. So now I have changed to previous one, and I will run this command, and it will run now. Why? Because inside this monitoring namespace, the namespace named monitoring is existing. So I will actually take this localhost 9090 port and go there and try to access it and see what it does. So here is the Prometheus part for us. So this particular command which I have run now, this port forward command, so it actually forwards the port 9090. Instead of 9090, you can give any other port, but at this point we have chosen 9090. So it will forward port 9090 of the Prometheus pod to our local machine for access. So we will now access, as you have seen here, this Prometheus using 127.0.0.1 or localhost colon 9090, and we'll be exploring Prometheus different metrics, like let's say example, for an example, targets. Yeah. So this particular target, as I said, so it will basically take care of different overview or kind of a little bit of overview of the targets that Prometheus is scraping metrics from. Yeah. So target page will give you an overview of the targets like this, all endpoints from where Prometheus is scraping the metrics. So each target corresponds to a set of metrics from a specific resource, such as service or application instance, or so on and so forth, or containers or job or namespace, different all this particular stuff. And then you have service discovery at this point. Yeah. So this particular page provides insights into the service discovery aspect of Prometheus. Service discovery is a key feature, that allows Prometheus to dynamically discover targets, which could be service pods or instances from which it can collect the metrics. And then you have, let's say, configuration page. Yeah. So this config page displays the current configuration of the Prometheus server, which is very, very, I'll not say complex, but it is very lengthy, very huge one. Okay. So this page is useful for understanding how Prometheus is set up to collect the metrics, but to understand it, you need to give quite a bit of time. Yeah. So I'll say that's all about Prometheus for today. Maybe some other day I'll be discussing about it. Yeah. So now I will go ahead and move to this particular page, and I will actually end the port forwarding. Yeah. So now if you go to Prometheus, you will not be able to access it. It will not be accessible because I have actually closed the port forwarding. That's fine. So now what can I do, or what we will do is we'll be listing the services in the monitoring namespace. So previously what we have run with kubectl get all, I will only run the services at this point of time. Why? Because I want the name of Grafana service which I want to access. Yeah. So okay, I actually ran without K. So here it is. And once I run it, I told you earlier that we need to look at the last part of the service names. Yeah. So Prometheus-Grafana. This is the one which we are bothered, or which we are concerned about. Yeah. So now what I'll do is I will go ahead and edit this Grafana service, which is Prometheus Grafana service, correct? And let me just clear it once, so it will look clear here. Kubectl edit service Prometheus Grafana -n monitoring. So I will basically edit this service configuration for Grafana in the monitoring namespace to change the service type from cluster IP to load balancer. How will change it? So previously I have shown you the example of port forwarding, how to access with port forwarding. Now I'll be showing you how to access with the help of a load balancer service type. So you just need to give, if you give anything small or capital, let's say example I give, if someone says like, okay, it looks like this one is small l, so I will keep small l like this. And if you try ahead and go ahead rather, you actually try to save it, it will give you a error message saying service Prometheus was not valid. This Grafana was not valid. Stack type, unsupported value, load balancer, supported values, here it is. You see, L capital. So we again need to go down and make it correct. Git caps L or L capital, load balancer, and that's all. And it has been edited properly. Now we'll run the same command to list the services, like previous command to list the services, with a watch parameter, which is nothing but -w. And you see here, it is coming as pending. Yeah, this particular type, service type, has been changed from cluster IP to load balancer, and external IP is coming as pending. But within a few seconds, we will see one IP address which will be getting generated, because what happened? The service type of this Prometheus Grafana has been changed from cluster IP to load balancer, and you see here now it is showing you. It is not a new one. Yeah, it is the same one, but because I have given -w, it is taking the real-time command output. Yeah. So now I see that it has actually generated the IP address. That means the load balancer service type is enabled for us, active now. Yeah. So I will do what at this point? I will take it, copy. I'll go to this page and I will give it here. And yes, here we are seeing our Grafana page. Now we'll be going inside Grafana with the username as admin, but the problem is we do not know the password. How will we getting the password? We need to run this command, kubectl get secret, the whole thing. You take it and just 1 minute. Okay, and sorry, that's not the correct one. I'll copy it, and once I run this command, it will give me the password of Grafana. And once I give it here it is. We will be inside our Grafana page. Yeah, so that's the particular Grafana service right now which we are accessing. Yeah, via external IP, which is load balancer IP. Yeah, so now we can go ahead and now click on this dashboard, and we can create our new dashboard, which will be adding the visualization or add the library panel or import or some other way, and which will take quite an amount of time. Yeah, so to visualize our clusters metrics, so why we are actually creating it, I mean, let's pause for some time. Yeah, why we are creating this particular Grafana dashboard, or we have created all those things. Why all this mess? Because we want to see, or we want to monitor or do the observability of our Kubernetes clusters, which is currently in our plate, correct? So if I now start adding the visualization and trying to create the dashboard, it will take a good amount of time. Rather than that, to visualize our clusters metrics, we will import pre-built dashboards from Grafana's official site. Yeah, so I will actually go to the URL, which is this one. I just kept it saved here for me so that I don't need to hop around, and I can go here and I can see there will be hundreds and thousands of dashboards, yeah, which will be available for us. And that's the destruction point, isn't it? Because when you have more choices, you will go nuts. You will not know which one to choose from. So for us, I will say I may be choosing any, I mean, you can choose anything, any one, but for you guys, I just want to give 2 examples, not more than that, because it will take more time and a lot of explanation and all those things has to happen. But for us, I think one I have chosen already, another one, just give me a few seconds so that I can have a quick one. I want to see Kubernetes pod one I have seen already, and let's see this one. I think, okay, let me take this one then. No, this is only 3.5 rating. I'll not go for it. Maybe, okay, let me go for this only. That's fine. Okay, this is the one. So what we have to do is, look, this is the thumb rule. Yeah, you go to this page, simply search for Kubernetes, okay, on this particular Grafana dashboard page. Choose a dashboard just like how I have chosen. Yeah, that fits our requirement, and then we'll be importing it to Grafana. How will import it? We will simply go ahead and click on this copy ID to clipboard. So let's say I will start with this one. Yeah, copy ID to clipboard. I will go to the dashboard, our dashboard, actual dashboard. I will either click here, import dashboard, or I'll click here, import dashboard. Yeah, so let's say I give it here, load. We need to, okay, so everything is fine. So I'll click on import, and it will actually take all the particular graphs and it will actually show you all the things. For us, the problem is, I think it is based on Fluentd, so that's the Fluent bit. Unfortunately, you will not get a lot of output from here because we are not working on the Fluent bit part, so forget about it. I will close this one, and I will actually take this copy, this particular dashboard. I will go here, and again, like this, I will click on here now, import dashboard. I'll give it here. Here you need to select the Prometheus data source. This is important, yeah, because Prometheus is the data source or particular data which is actually logging all the logs, or rather actually keeping or saving all the logs from our Kubernetes cluster. Yeah, that's the reason. I mean, you need to have the combination of Prometheus and Grafana together. You click on import, and here you see there's a good amount of data which is coming onto the plate. Yeah, at this point, and then I will go for the other one, maybe copy ID, and when I go here, let's say I click on open a new tab, and I'll click import dashboard, and here also I need to choose the Prometheus data source, and here you see you are getting this much of this latest CPU, the current connections, minimum these things, memory, and all those things. You are actually getting it. You can actually get a number of other parameters like pod related or node related kind of or hardware related particular or detailed pod resource related so-called graphs from there, the visualization graphs or dashboards, and you can actually import inside your Kubernetes cluster, or rather your Grafana dashboard, and you can actually see how it looks like. There are many other things which are there, but I mean, for today, there you have it. So with Prometheus and Grafana setup, you now have powerful tools at your disposal to monitor and kind of analyze your Kubernetes cluster. Yeah, so you can dive inside these dashboards, explore the matrices, gain valuable insights into your cluster performance and health. So for today, up to this, guys, yeah, learn properly and keep improving on everyday basis. Take care. Bye-bye.